This video is brought to you by Mr. Duggill. So in today's video we're going to be discussing Pythagoras' theorem. So Pythagoras was a gentleman, a Greek philosopher and mathematician that lived 2,500, 600 years ago, and he came up with a pretty good theory. But before we get into that theory, I think it's important to understand a little bit about right angle triangles, because that's what he studied, and just some ways of labeling right angle triangles and some terminology. So on the screen you can see that you have triangle ABC, and we use the notation of triangle ABC. And in maths we don't like using words, we like rather symbols because it's quicker and it's more efficient. So that symbol there is triangle. Is short for triangle, triangle ABC. We also label angles. So if we go back to the triangle and have a look at the triangle, we label angles using capital letters. So that angle there is labeled as capital C. Okay, and this angle over here is labeled as capital A. And the right angle down the bottom here is labeled as capital B. And that angle there is a 90-degree angle, hence the right angle symbol. So some other terminology is when we look at a right angle triangle, we try to identify the longest side of a right angle triangle. So the longest side is that side there, and we identify and we give that side a special name, and it is called the hypotenuse. Okay, so the longest side of any right angle triangle is always called the hypotenuse. Okay, so it's called the hypotenuse. So just remember that word, because your teachers might want to refer to that in their lessons. Now, to remember how to identify the hypotenuse, it is always the longest side, and it is always the side opposite the right angle. So it's always across from the right angle. So that's just another way to remember the hypotenuse.